so let's go into services, what it is your company does. So Wilson Unlimited has his listed in several different ways. We have sort of the high level services that he offers. He does engineering consulting, project management, and subcontracting. Then he goes a step further and he takes that and he breaks it down into smaller buckets. And he does all of these services as part of those large buckets. A couple of steps further, and he takes it, and government entities use numbers. There's two sets of codes that they use. The North American Industry Classification System, which is used more for federal contracting. And one of the things that you will get from us is actually a list of all of these numbers, but Julie is going to drop the website in the chat of where you find those numbers. So we have his NAICS codes listed off to the side. And here we have those, and again, they're listed on her capability statement. Now, she has the numbers listed, but you have to know what those numbers mean. You can't just say, I do 722-511 when you're talking to a person. You have to say that is we are a full service restaurant. You often have room to put all of these descriptions on there on your capability statement, but you need to know what they mean. So you kind of have a little cheat sheet in your Padfolio as you're handing out your capability statement, so you can have a conversation that's not just about the numbers. The second set of codes is your NIGP codes. Those are your National Institute of Government Purchasing. Those are used for city, states, counties. So those codes, basically, they're a newer set. You're going to find a little bit more information on there. And again, we're going to send you the list, the Excel document with them all. That Julie is going to drop that in the chat. And you're going to want to know what those codes mean, just like you would your NAICS codes. So the cool thing about having these codes on your capability statement, when you are filling out any vendor registration forms, you're going to need those codes on that vendor registration. You want to make sure that these are codes that your company actually perform. You self-perform this work. This is not codes that you can go find a subcontractor for. Again, this is codes that your company performs. We get this all the time. Well, I do all of this stuff. It's like I have watches and bracelets and necklaces and a boombox. Are you actually a reseller of these things? No, I have a friend, another company I work with. Nope, this is work that you actually do. That's important because if you get an opportunity and you go after it because that's the NIGP code you listed, you have to perform a certain amount of that contract. So you need to make sure that you're only listing the items that you actually do. All right, so another thing that you can put on your capability statement is the industries in which you do the work. So Happy Teas, they do nonprofit, they do higher ed, they do elementary schools. So they're targeting these specific clients. This is stating, I'm already working in this area. I've already have work with other K through 12. I understand the procurement process of a K through 12. I understand what doing business with a nonprofit is like. So this kind of showcases that very subtly and lets them know, yes, I can do work with you. I understand what this is.